You can't escape the importance of mental health and mental well-being. It's in the press constantly for businesses, for elite athletes, for young people. So I'm delighted that we're joined by Hayley Jarvis today from Mind, who's going to talk to us a little bit about the Get Set Go programme, what they've learnt from that, and also explore how you as a sector are ensuring that your workforce is thriving, and what can we do differently in order to make sure that our teams are energised and ready and supported and can talk openly about any issues that they're facing. So please welcome Hayley to the stage. Thank you.
Hello, thank you. Firstly, I must have to start with an apology. I don't have an unwell child at home, but I do have to shamelessly name drop that I need to dash out after this presentation because I've got the pleasure of briefing Sky Sports about all of our exciting work at Mind, so I hope you'll forgive me. But two of my new team are here and I'm sure they'll be happy to sort of chat to you about our work at Mind. So I've been asked to come along to give you a bit of an update on our work in sport, talk you through some of the tools and resources, and I hope really whet your appetite for some of the really exciting opportunities and resources coming soon. So we all know that being active is good for the body, and we've heard today that it's incredibly powerful for the mind too. It reduces our risk of depression by up to 30%, improves our mood through endorphins, helps us sleep better, and reduces stigma and discrimination as well. So at Mind, we believe it has a real role in building resilience, in helping us when we develop a mental health problem, but also around getting the message out there that it's okay not to be okay. We're delighted that we're part of the Mental Health Charter for Sport and Recreation, and that now has over 330 signatories, many of you probably here in the room, and that we're supporting you to take positive action around mental health. So I thought I'd give this technology thing a go. I'm not sure how great it is for my anxiety, but if you get your voting pads out, let's give it a go. So we're going to start with a bit of a quiz. Hopefully this is an easy one. Many of you would have heard this statistic before. So how many people in the UK will experience a mental health problem each year? So vote 1 if you think 1 in 2, vote 2 if you think 1 in 4, or vote 3 if you think 1 in 8. Hopefully we'll get some results. Fantastic. So 74% of you are correct. It is 1 in 4 of us will experience a mental health problem each year. And it doesn't discriminate. It can happen to anyone, any age, any background, any gender, any upbringing. And it is definitely not a sign of weakness at all. Okay, so moving on. How long do the majority of people with a mental health problem wait before telling their closest friends and family about it? So vote 1 if you think 2 months. Vote 2 if you think over a year, and vote number 3 if you think 7 months. Okay, hopefully we'll get some results. Oh, I don't know what's gone on there, but it tells me 67% were correct at over a year. Over a year, that's staggering. So our findings from Time to Change, so our big campaign in partnership with Rethink Mental Illness, showed that over 60% of people with mental health problems wait over a year to tell the people closest to them about it because of stigma, that fear around being treated differently, and sort of concerns about admitting it to themselves as well. And I think we can see things are slowly changing. I think about this last year, how many sports people have talked out about their own mental health problems. Whether it's Danny Rose on the eve of the World Cup, Kelly Holmes, so many people talking out about mental health. But I also think the sector's changing too. Can you raise your hands if you saw the letter from the Barnsley CEO to a fan about his mental health problems? It went absolutely viral on Twitter. And I think it's testament that the world is slowly changing. Okay, one more. So what proportion of people with mental health problems believe that the workplace stress contributed to their illness? Vote 1 if you think 2 in 3, vote 2 if you think 1 in 5, or vote 3 if you think 1 in 3. And hopefully we'll get some results. Okay. Interesting. So it was actually number one. So 2 out of 3 people, 2/3 of people cited that long hours, unrealistic workloads, bad management may have been the cause or exacerbated their mental health problem. So we spend lots of time at work, whether it's at the desk or in the gym, and it's so important that we look after our own and our colleagues' well-being. So yeah, if you can pop your voting pads away, we're done with those now. Just checking that you're still awake. Okay. So our Get Set to Go Phase 1 was a partnership with Sport England and the National Lottery, a 3-year programme to support those of us with mental health problems to become physically active in our local communities through peer support. So people with their own personal experiences and mental health problems supporting one another to become active. We also had a 3-pronged approach. So we had online peer support through our Ellie Friends website, so creating a space where we could encourage people to become active and people could give and receive peer support, and through communications and media campaigns, as well as our local delivery. And what we know is it was really important that it was co-designed by people with their own personal experiences of mental health problems. So at Mind, we know over 60% of our staff have mental health problems. But it's not just about talking to them, it's about going out to our communities and engaging people to understand what they wanted to see from a physical activity programme. So we know those that were physically active on more days had better mental well-being, had better overall health, their social support increased, which is really important considering when you have a mental health problem, it can be incredibly isolating. And often one of the first things you do is you cut yourself off from your friends and your family. So people experience new friendships and their knock-on effect to their physical and mental health was massive. So we've heard today already about the cup of tea and the cake. For us at Jolly Joggers or Get Set to Go programmes, whether it's Swim and Talk or Walk, Talk and Fork, food is part of it, and we do like a tea and toast at the end. But it also helped people to cope and to be more resilient. And for many, it was the first step in accessing mental health support. So people told us that they were more likely to come to a Mind physical activity session than go to a Mind counselling or talking therapy session, because it was a bit of a safer introduction to the world of Mind, and people had something in common. So the impact of Get Set to Go Phase 1 was huge in terms of numbers. Over 3,500 people got involved in our local delivery. We reached thousands through our campaigns and information resources, and over 1,000 took part in our evaluation with Loughborough University. Over 19 million people reached through the campaigns, and we worked with over 600 organisations and 900 professionals. Loughborough University investigated all aspects of the programme and followed people from baseline 3, 6 and 12 months and developed a really comprehensive report and recommendations. You can read the full report on our website and at the National Centre for Sport and Exercise Medicine. It made lots of recommendations, and as many people have said today, lots of them are small and simple and don't cost lots. The 2 that I'm going to focus on for Phase 2 is about developing strong links between mental health sector and the sports sector, and also the sports sector increasing their awareness of mental health. Okay, so what is coming up with Phase 2? Many of you would have noticed in the DCMS report at Christmas, I think it announced our funding before it had been announced. We have entered a 3-year partnership with Sport England. We're delighted that we're able to really support the sector going forward and build on our learning. I feel like we've only just got started. So we have a number of objectives for Phase 2. We want to continue to get people active, people with mental health problems, physically active in their local communities, particularly focusing on those that are inactive, but also helping people to maintain their activity when their mental health takes a dip. And that can be a real challenge, but we saw from Phase 1 that many people really understood the benefits of being active, and even if they couldn't go to their Zumba or their aqua class, were able to get out for a walk because they could see the value in it. But importantly, our objective C is about how we support you, the sport and physical activity sector. And we're doing this on 2 levels. So as providers, how we support you to include more of us with mental health problems. Thinking back to that 1 in 4 stat, you've already got people in your session. So how can we make sure that they're welcomed, encouraged and supported when their mental health takes a dip? But also supporting the sector as employers. So again, thinking back to that 2 in 3 statistic, 2 in 3 of people said that the work environment contributed to their mental health. the sector is a huge workforce, and we want to support you around your duty of care so that you look after yourself, your others, your volunteers and your staff. So we'll achieve this through 2 strands. So we're going to continue our community delivery through seed funding. So we've already launched 6 new areas delivering the Get Set to Go model, and we'll be launching a further 12 through an application process early in the new year. So if you're involved with your local mind, now's a great time to start talking to them about are they going to apply for funding. But also this sector support and influencing. So working with some strategic partners to really embed this work, working regionally, but also working for our training resource as well. So we have some big ambitions. We want to get 5,400 people with mental health problems active in their local communities through our Get Set to Go sites. But we really think we can have an indirect reach of many more. So 2.8 million is a big statistic, but given the demand from the sector, I've got CSPs, NGBs, Players Associations, UK Sport, chasing me around the country. I really think that together we can achieve that. So I just briefly wanted to highlight the training. This is a thing that people contact me about the most, about how can they upskill themselves and their workforce. In phase 1, we developed a workshop, a 3-hour course with UK Coaching and Sport England. Importantly, it was developed by people with mental health problems and delivered by them. So in terms of being incredibly authentic and real and helping people to really understand how to overcome those barriers. It's delivered around the country at the moment by 25 of our local minds, and it's really aimed at everyone as an introduction to mental health awareness. We invested in further research with Loughborough University to understand if the course works and how it works, and we found that we had really positive results. However, we had some challenges around ensuring that we can roll it out to the entire sector. But also, we found that when individuals went on the course, they went back to their organisation incredibly enthused, but they didn't always get senior management buy-in. And if they tried to then put into place mental health specific interventions or sessions, that often they were poorly attended, and that was because of the lack of trusted partner. So we've been closely working together over the last few months to try to develop our offer to the sector so that we can help you to deliver positive outcomes for those of us with mental health problems. Sadly, we can't help every organisation individually. We are a small team. But just to give you a flavour of what's coming up over the coming months. So we have our network of over 130 local minds, and certainly linking organisations up. I feel like a dating agency. We deliver a sport and mental health network meeting that meets twice a year. The next one's in November. That's open invitation, and you can find out more on our website. Our research and insight, both our own research at Mind, both at an elite and a grassroots level, but also supporting others. So again, constantly get asked about our evaluation techniques and how did we get so many people to take part. And we have resources and support guidance available. Excitingly, our big development launching in 2019 is an e-learning course, working with UK Coaching and First for Sport to really get out that training en masse. To that mass market, and more information about that will come very early in the new year, but we've been working closely and it's looking very, very good. We have existing toolkits and resources, service blueprints. We are caring and sharing, so lots of resources that we can share with you on our website, but also for our events. Our information library. And in November, we're launching a resource called Thriving at Work for the sports sector. So some of you may have seen in October, the government released a report about how as employers can we look after our employees. And we're working closely with DCMS and sports partners on what does this look like in the sports sector with really practical tools that you can implement. So we'll be launching that alongside CPD events and training and information. So very quickly, before I get kicked off, I couldn't miss this opportunity to highlight our very exciting partnership with the English Football League. So many of you would have seen our squiggle, or hashtag as people call it, on the back of the shirts for the Championship, League 1 and League 2. And this is a really exciting opportunity to us for us to raise the profile of mental health, particularly with men. So 6,000 people sadly take their lives each year. 75% of those are men. 75% of EFL fans are male. So it's a no-brainer for us that we should work together to get this important issue out there. So over the next two football seasons, you're going to see a lot of activity in football. Here's just a slide of our ambassadors launching the shirts. So Stephen Fry, Fern Cotton and John Richardson is just a few to start getting those messages out there. And we're planning some really exciting activations around World Mental Health Day next week. So if you don't know the date, World Mental Health Day is Wednesday the 10th of October. We'll be joining in along with, I know we've got Love to Swim that we've been supporting, Run and Talk with athletics, Boxing Mind with boxing, many other campaigns. But just wanted to put it on your radar, there'll be a lot of activity next week. And over the next 2 seasons, we will be working together to raise awareness of mental health. We need to raise some money for Mind. This partnership is an opportunity to raise money, but also to fund more activities in local communities. So the funds raised from this programme will directly go towards delivering more Get Set to Go sites in the local area. But also it gives us an opportunity to trial and test a number of innovative ways of working with community trusts and hopefully then scale that to the rest of the sector. So I hope I've given you a bit of a flavour of our work so far and our plans for the future, along with the resources and support available. We are a small team, part of a big charity. I've got Sam Perks, who's our Sector Support Officer, and Layla Stanley, our Physical Activity Officer, somewhere out there. Can you give us a wave? Sorry guys, to embarrass you. They are brand new to the team, but they are going to be here the rest of today. We've got that suite of resources and tools, and we're really excited to work with you over the coming years. But do think about after today how you can connect. If you're a local organisation, do you know your local Mind? If you don't, we can put you in touch. Or if you're regional or national, why not get involved in our Sport and Mental Health Network? Follow us on Twitter. What about making a pledge? Through signing up to the Mental Health Charter and thinking about the action that you can take. There's so many resources and support available for you. And also learn, so access our website, mind.org.uk/sport. I don't have any sort of further call to action other than to say there's no need to reinvent the wheel. We are really here to support you, and there's so much learning already from our own project, but also through linking up with other mental health charities that we can share with you. We are stronger if we work together, and I think the role of people with their own personal experience in mental health problems is absolutely key. And also, just a plea to keep it social and make it fun. We all like a little bit of tea and toast. So thank you very much for your time.